What's up, guys? This is K&M Live back in here again. Today we got a video from a nice um, black woman that's going to give us youngins advice from her. You know, I guess from her to men. So it's a bit. This is gonna seem. I think this is gonna be a bit more positive video today. I feel like we need to mix that in sometimes. Like as much as there's a lot of gray, there's a lot of green sometimes. So that's why I chose this clip for today, but let's get right into it.
It's another one. It's another video. And it's huge. It's huge. It's huge. Huge video today. Let's go. I'm going to need all the ladies to just take a seat for a minute. Okay, so for the next 10, 12-ish minutes of this video, just sit down, just for a second. It's okay. I'll be with you in the next video. I need all the men. All the men, okay? Let's take deep breaths together. Why am I being so nervous? Like, it's okay. You're not gonna bite, right? I'm so nervous. It's like you're actually sitting in front of me.
We are.
Okay, and what I need you to do for me as you listen to this video is to listen to me with your full attention, to listen to me, if you can, with your heart and not so much your mind. I know I'm asking a lot from you, but please give me that much, all right? And then listen before you go to the comments. So here we go. First thing I want you to know is that you matter. I want you to know how important you are. Not only to me, who's making this video, but to the people around you. You matter to your wife. You matter to your mother. You matter to your daughter, your son. You matter to your co-workers. You matter. You matter in this world. You are important. Contrary to what we may see on social media, not every woman is bashing men. Not every woman thinks that the world would be better without men. We don't think this way. It's not a representation of all of us, I can promise you that. And I need you to get that power back within you and take care of yourself in a way that will allow you to rise up and truly become the man that you desire to be. I know it's kind of weird being a woman and all, and I'm giving you this advice, but listen to me for a few more minutes. These are the things I need you to do. One, when you are feeling alone, when you're feeling like things are hard, when you're feeling like the world is against you, I need you to build a support structure around you. I need you to never suffer alone. Yes, you're strong. Yes, you're capable. Yes, you can do many things, but don't suffer alone, okay? You need to build a support structure around you. That needs to be a priority in your life. You need to also surround yourself, in building that support structure, surround yourself with men whom you look up to. And sometimes those individuals are not in your immediate environment or immediate surroundings. You may need to go to the internet, to YouTube, to social media, and look and find and be very discerning of the media that you are allowing into your space and of the voices that you are listening to. Ask yourself, is this the kind of man whom I would like to become? Is this the kind of person I would like my son to become if you have a son? Is this the kind of person that would make me proud of being when I'm 80, 90, however years old, So ask yourself these questions when you are listening to people. Don't only look at the money that they have, right? We love money. I love money. We love money. All is wonderful. All money is great. We love that. And we want you to have all the monies, not only to spend on us, but, we want you to have all the money. But when you're looking for a mentor, there must be more than only the money. Right? There must be more to that person. Look at their values. Look at whether they have integrity or not. Look at the happiness, or rather like how are their children? How is the wife being treated? How do they value family? How are they treating people in society? And most importantly, how do they treat the person for whom they don't need anything from? So the little people, how do they treat those individuals, right? Because it's easy to treat and equal a certain way And then you treat those who are in a status in society that may not equate the status that you're at differently. So also look at those things. Do your research when you're deciding on a mentor, all right? And then when you found that mentor, you also realize that sometimes you outgrow your mentors, and that's okay. You might be asking yourself, why is it that I am dialing in so hard on the idea of finding a mentor? And that's simply because if you didn't have a role model in your life, if you didn't have a dad in your life who could guide you into the man that you wanted to become, you need to then take that upon yourself to father yourself. All right? To father yourself and to parent yourself and to take care of yourself in the ways that you needed when you were a boy. If you didn't get that when you were a boy, it's time for you to do that for yourself now that you are a man. And that won't mean that you're soft. It doesn't mean that at all. It just simply means that you're grown enough to realize the things that you truly need and that you're giving yourself those things. It is important that you do that. And so, if it isn't...
I think she made a solid I guess I got a solid point about guys having guys need to stop being a lone wolf at times, and just have a positive support system. It doesn't mean that it has to be telling your sob stories, like the opposite gender. No disrespect, but but just if you like in hard times or just want some advice, or you just have like a supporting hand, just to be there for you. You have like close family net, or friends, that you can confide in, and build trust.
And I say like yeah, that I agree on that point because um as like even for us, like coming from a two parent households and having brothers and sisters, like having both, having siblings, and having like a friends you can call and talk to. I think we take a lot of that stuff for granted because there's people who don't have that at all. I mean, there's dudes who don't have that at all because this is the men conversation. There's a lot of men out there who don't have that at all, or they're born into chaos, like around chaotic people and chaotic parts of society. So it's kind of like hard for them to, especially if they're positive on the inside, they may turn out negative due to the environment that they're around. So this type of stuff is important. And I feel like a lot of these so-called, what they call them, what I'm talking about. Not the alpha male. Like, what I'm talking about. They be like, man, you gotta get your money up, you gotta get your muscles. I'm like, I
The
feel like
red
there's
pill
more to
dudes,
life.
the red pill, the
No,
manosphere,
I wouldn't
the
call.
manosphere.
I mean, red pill is like their own.
Yeah,
They're their
I'm just
own
talking about
portion.
this the manosphere
Like
space in
the
general.
toxic positivity. What they talk
Mhm.
about, like everything's always about a self care, self development, self this, self that. It's like we don't talk about how important it is to call your friend and see how they doing. We don't talk about how important it is to check up on somebody, even though you may be doing great in life. You may be doing wonderful. But what about your other people around you? Because if you're the only one that's rich, that means everybody else must be poor. Because they may not be doing as well as you are. And so it's important to have those people when you're having those rainy days you can talk to and not crash out. This helps. I think this is a good medicine to help prevent crash outs. Because you're not going to crash out because there's people out there that care about you. So you're going to think twice before you do something off the wall. You know what I'm saying? Because a
Mhm.
lot of dudes, we don't have that. Or we push ourselves away from it because we don't, for whatever reason that might be. But I do agree on that. So what else do you think, like what she says so far, you feel like you agree with?
Well, what she's saying so far, I'm agreeing with this so far. It's just saying, having us, like you said, having a support system doesn't make you weak. You just recognize, there's just some things that
The,
you just
teamwork make the dream work.
you can't just do everything by yourself. So
Yeah.
it's good to have some support.
Yeah. And I wanted to also say like I'm gonna let her keep going though. Let her keep going.
Indeed a man's world. If it is a man's world, fine. That's fine. Please make it safe for us. This is me pleading now for us women. Please make it a safe world for us. In the process of fathering yourself, in the process of taking good care of yourself, please do your best when you're with your friends, you know, your dudes, your guys, I don't know what men call each other, bros. When you're all together, father one another and check one another, right? If somebody is acting a certain way, if somebody is bragging about treating women a certain way, say something, do something. And I'm not just asking this for myself, for when I walk from my car into my place at 2 a.m. in the morning after work, wanting to feel safe. I'm asking this for the daughter that you'll have if you don't have a daughter yet. I'm asking this for your wife, your sister. I'm asking this for all of us because
That's the assumption if you do get a wife. That is.
Well, it's just
want to
basically
feel
females
safe,
in your life.
and
Yeah,
we
I know.
love you. And we can only feel safe when we are protected by you. So yes, we need you. We need you more than you think. And in needing you, we recognize that there are more men who care deeply about being the best version of themselves than the other kinds of men. And I don't want you to hear this and think I'm blaming you for world problems and whatnot. But you have more power than you think. You really have more power than you think, more power than you know in making this world, it's gonna sound so corny, a better place. Truly, truly, deeply, truly. Now I'm talking to the ladies when this is a male video. If a man comes to you and they need you deeply to hold space for them, don't shame him. Don't do that. Don't belittle him. I've been that woman who's done things like that, and thinking about it now like makes me want to cry. I'm not going to cry, but it makes me want to cry knowing that I could hurt somebody that deeply and they have to just kind of keep it in so that they don't seem, again, soft. I am sorry. I am sorry. And I'm saying sorry to all the men that I've hurt in my life. I'm sorry for making you feel small. I'm sorry for making you feel unheard. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm deeply sorry. If you needed that apology,
If only more women was this honest as you.
Well, that's finding a needle in a haystack.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna let her finish out.
even if I was the one, or even if I wasn't the one who hurt you, please take my apology on behalf of anyone you needed to hear that from. And when you hear that apology, know that it comes from my heart, and I hope that it makes a difference in your life.
Basically, learn to forgive them, like my pastor was saying about
It's so hard.
you know, about these chicks. Like she was also saying, like you guys just gotta learn to forgive them, because even she admitted that she knows that today's environment, when it comes to family dynamics and women and men, like the women are all over the place, and she knows that. And she was like, you just gotta find it in your heart to forgive them, you know, because that's the Christian way of things, right? Because I would say you don't forgive them for them, you forgive them for yourself, because the more you fester those negative emotions towards them, you end up spiraling into a disaster of your own life, you know? It's just freer when you learn to accept them for who they are, and then you move accordingly, you know? So that's something I would add on to the point that she's making about that. You just gotta learn, you just forgive them for yourself, not for them.
Not sound cliche in this video. It's so hard because men and women do need one another.
Yep.
We do need both genders. We can't do it as just one gender. We just can't do it as just one. A household needs father, mother. It's needed.
Balance.
There's a reason why there's both of us in this world. There's a reason why there's these genders in this world. And I think that we do so much work in harming one another. It might be time for us to start doing the work in taking better care of one another. Don't you think? I love men. And just women love men. Women love men. And we love you. We love you. We love you. Why would we be so obsessed? You know, why would girls' nights be all these conversations about a guy? And again, I'm gonna have that other video with the women, because sometimes we need to change those conversations in the way we talk about men, right? But I want you to know that women love you. Can we learn how to better love you? Yes. But in the process, I ask that you learn how to better love us. And maybe it might be important for you to learn how to better love yourself. Because one thing that I've noticed is that when a man feels inadequate in the world, right? Tell me if I'm wrong. But when a man feels emasculated out there in the world, maybe by race or finances, social status, when a man feels emasculated in some way, he will take it out on his woman. Please don't. Please don't do that. It might be a hard ask. I'm not you, I don't know. But please don't do that. Okay? That's why I'm asking you to take care of yourself. Because again, you have more power than you know. Take care of yourself so that you can be a man who can grow into the leader that your household needs. Take care of yourself. Because when you take care of yourself, you're taking care of your family. And when you're taking care of your family, you're taking care of society. And you're taking care of society, you're taking care of the nation. That's why I'm saying you have the power to change the world. You really do. The last thing I want to leave you with, and I'm speaking to the men who are dads, right? And those who desire to be dads one day. If you are a dad of a girl, just know that your girl is going to look for you in her partner one day. So when she goes out in the world and chooses the man who's going to stand next to her, she's going to look for her dad, subconsciously. So if you don't show her what true love really is, if you don't show her what a man's love for a woman, you know, the security, the safety net, all of those things, if you don't give that to your daughter, she's gonna go out there and be with the kind of guy whose face you want to punch in. You don't want to do that. You don't want that for her, do you? No. So take good care.
They still choose those guys anyway, but
care of her. And when you have a son, he's going to model your behavior. He's going to become just like his dad. So make sure you become the kind of man you want your son to become one day. Please. I'm asking this for my daughter. I'm asking this for everybody's daughters out there. I know I said that point was the last one, but this is the very last one, and then I have to go. Do your best to not define yourself as either good or bad, right? Those two definitions do not need to be how you define yourself. You can expand those definitions and recognize that sometimes there's a gray area. There are periods in your life where you haven't done things maybe the best way you could have, all right? And there are periods in your life where thriving, great, awesome. But expand these definitions for yourself so that you can give yourself a little bit of grace. It's funny she say that
because when people ask how to describe me, I never start off like I'm bad or good. I'm just neutral.
That's interesting. That's crazy. I never thought about that. I never had anybody ask to describe me or myself. But if I had to say, I think that you could say that I'm a kind person by nature, but at the same time, I do have my savage moments. So I'm like, a mix of the two. Like somebody I know said this before. I could be the best person you ever met, and I can also be the worst person you ever met. Just depends on the circumstance, you know. And I'm completely okay with that because at the end of the day, that's who I am. That's my personality. That's the way I'm built. Like I'm just somebody who fights back at whatever it is. Like now, could I fight tactfully or could I fight aggressively? That's all depends. Could I just talk it out with the person versus choosing violence? Yes. But there are times when either one is required, you know?
Yeah.
There's times where, you know, you can't negotiate with a terrorist. There are times when you can reason with this person. You don't have to resort to violence. We can have a conversation and mellow it out. So every circumstance is different. It's like one solution ain't gonna apply for all. So I totally get her point on that.
Room to grow. So when the moments come when the decisions that you're making aren't great, you are easier able to move to a place where you can be proud of yourself. But if you just are like, I'm a good guy, I'm a bad guy, the end. What is that? No, you're a full human being. You're multifaceted. There's so much more to you than just these two ways of being. Just remember that. Remember that. You're more than the mistakes that you've made. You're more than any bad decision that you've ever made. You can always change. It's a decision. And that decision is going to need commitment from you. It's going to need consistency. And more importantly, it's going to need discipline. 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 And discipline is something, I'm not a man, as I said, but let me just say, discipline in a man, love it, okay? Discipline in a man is what's going to get you from where you are to where you want to be. Discipline in a man is what's going to help you to not allow your body to think for you. For you to be able to think for yourself and not allow the body to control your decisions. Discipline. All right, dudes. Take care of yourself. Truly.
And we out.
I gotta let you go.
Well, like I said, it was a positive video. So more positive than I expected. But yeah, I would say for the most part, a lot of dudes do need to hear this. But you know, one thing that I would like to one thing that the one piece that she's leaving out because she's building this image of a guy who's just man, like he's just he's all that in a bag of chips, you know what I'm saying? And we all know a guy like that's not realistic or he's hiding a super dark side of himself, right? One thing I will say for any dude, the one most important piece out of everything she's saying that I would like to add on, and I apply this to myself as well, is you have to protect your mind and your body. Like they say, strong mind, strong body, right? So not only focus on your physical skills, but your intellectual ones too. Don't always think like everything can be solved with brute force. Even though we're blessed with it, it's not everything it can't solve all your issues. You have to be able to think through a lot of things as well and understand, have good judgment. I wouldn't say moral code because a lot of the world is amoral. Earth is evil. I know that that's a topic for a different day. But you have to have discernment on judgment on what do you value the most? Do you feel like it's worth it for you to get involved in certain situations? And leading to the one piece that I'm getting at is protecting yourself. I don't feel like people talk about that enough at all. They expect dudes to jump right in, not a care in the world, and just dive in, and fools dive in first. And they're used as the examples of what not to do later, right? So the thing about it is protect yourself. And whatever you plan to do, just accept the good and the ands, like the good and the consequences that come with it. And now they'd be like, well, that's typical advice. It's not as typical as you think. A lot of dudes, we give up our well-being for other people, our family, sometimes friends, especially the queens, right? Our girlfriends and wives.
Mm.
We'll give up our well-being, even though we know it's not in our right mind to do it for them. We do it because of them. And this is where I'm talking about. I feel like there's a lot of dudes, that's our nature to give to others. Like we will sacrifice ourselves for the betterment of others. And I know that sounds good on paper, but that's not healthy in the long run. You have to have some level of selfishness. And there's an entrepreneur, he talked about that. You have to be selfish to the point you can give to others. Now I know people are like, how does that even work? Because when you're selfish and you apply that stuff to yourself, others can benefit from it because you're selfish about it. So, because if you just run with just what she said, you're going to get taken advantage of by other people. Other people are going to see that, oh, I could just take advantage of this guy. And boom, now you're in a situation you shouldn't have been in because you were trying to prove you were a man. You were trying to prove how positive you were. There are times when you have to fight. There are times where you can't just turn a blind eye and just like, walk away. You have to stand and fight sometimes. You have to stand your ground. You cannot just allow anybody to just come in and just cause disruption because a lot of people will. They will take your kindness for weakness. If you give them benefit of the doubt, they may use that against you. You have to know how to protect yourself, protect your soul, your spirit, your body. All these things matter. So what I mean by that is, for example, if you're getting married, you have to know what you're getting into. Don't just get married because she's a beautiful woman or because she's this. Get married because what you want to do? Are you doing that because she wants it or are you doing that because you want it? Do you want the family? Do you feel like it's right? And also, does that person look at it the same way you do? And if they don't, do you have the means to protect yourself so you don't be stuck in a messed up situation for years later if things don't work out? And then for another situation, like I said, you had a job, you with a coworker, you don't agree, like you're given the manager position or boss position or CEO, and now they start hating on you. Now they start doing certain things, even though before they was all cool with you, but now they want to turn into your enemies. You have to understand that no matter where we are as dudes, we're always in competition with other dudes, whether we like it or not. We might not even like the idea of it, but it's the unfortunate reality that you're in competition with other men, no matter what, no matter how small it is, whether it's gaming, whether it's eating, whether it's how many girls you get, whether it's how much you bench press. We're always in jobs. We're always in competition with other men. So you have to protect yourself mentally and not set yourself up for disappointment. Accept the losses and the wins that you get. And I always appreciate it. I always appreciate whatever I have in this life because there's a guy who wanted that and couldn't get it. Or there's somebody who did get it, but then abused it. And then, so that's why like having that healing to your soul and your mind, it helps ease the fact of accepting the truth. And a lot of people don't like the truth because it's bitter, but the truth is freeing because it kind of makes you feel like, okay, I can't be mad anymore because I see things for what they are. And now I have to move to the beat of my own drum and make sure I get what I want out of this life, regardless of kids, regardless of wife, regardless of family, because nobody's happiness is more important than your own. And I feel like there's a lot of self-sacrifice that's thrown onto men growing up. And we do this stuff unconsciously and not even realize that we're hurting ourselves because you're running yourself in the mud for people who don't even really care about you. So be careful about who you make those sacrifices for. It's not just anybody you could just make a sacrifice for because you could even do it for your own kids and they can betray you. I've seen situations like that. So you have to always look at the negatives and the positives of these situations. And I don't think as dudes we're taught that enough growing up. We're just taught to just don't think about it, just go. Don't think about it, just jump. No. Sit back, analyze the situation, weigh out the good and the bad. What is going to What is the outcome that's going to better your life in this situation? Because you come first. So I feel like that's something that she left out, and I'm just adding that in. But that's it on my part.
Okay, I just add a little bit because since we already like
Oh damn, I
a
didn't know
little
that.
bit, like 30 minutes in, but I was gonna say that I know as men we just gotta um hang tight and just have mental clarity and like on the things we want in life and we go how we get things about it, and then even though it might be the period of time of frustration and why things are not working the way that they're supposed to, we should have within ourselves, like I was reinstated before, like, took a fight in our brethren and not and not um lash out our frustration on the people that we care about because of our situation that we can't seem to figure out or get out upon. Because as men, we're always trying to figure out what works and what cannot work in order to get us out of the situation. We just want to problem solve. So just that with that being said, is just it's upon us that we can put our minds to the goals that we want without hurting the others that we care about, and when doing so we can bring out the positive side of the man, so he can thrive he can thrive in a way that he wants to be. So you know I just think that once we got a lot of those things down on our issues, I think we can be more positive, with just relations with our family, our women, stuff like that. Because guys tend to bottle a lot of things in, because like you said in the video, guys just more just bottle, just
Stoic
stoic and just bottle
and
stuff in
introverted.
because we just it's just the way it is, but sometimes that that kettle is gonna be
Boy,
screaming.
it's boiling.
It's gonna be screaming, and that's gonna be
Rumbling on
you
that
when you
stove.
burst. So
Yeah.
it's just best just to get that taken care of. So that's all I gotta say about it.
All right.
So if you guys have anything you guys want to say about the video or our comments about it, please leave it in the comment section down below. So once again, we appreciate you guys for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell if you haven't already. If you guys have any recommendations or feedback, you hit us up on our social media or email down below. And we see you guys in the next video.
I can hear you breathing. I can see you coming. I can feel the wind that's blowing me around. See the sun.